Here's your wrestling news for October 16th, 2025. Your headlines for today include AEW fans stunned after Chris Jericho's cryptic exit tease, 2 former world champions reportedly in line to face John Cena in his farewell match, WWE fires major name after backstage attitude problems surface, where is Andrade, AEW star's contract situation finally revealed, Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio reunion teased, Samoa Joe admits he's nearing the end, my current AEW contract could be my last. Massive pre-sale surge for John Cena's last WWE appearance in Washington. Massive WWE toy heist busted, police recovered thousands of figures, and more. With only 4 dates left before John Cena officially steps away from the ring, speculation has begun to build over who will share the ring with him for his final match. The debate has become one of the most discussed topics among WWE fans, and now new developments have only fueled that curiosity further. At WWE Crown Jewel, Cena faced AJ Styles in a match filled with callbacks to both men's legendary careers. Throughout the bout, each paid homage to key figures who shaped their journeys. In one surprising moment, Cena locked in the walls of Jericho on Styles, and even more unexpected, the commentary team acknowledged it and name-dropped Chris Jericho on air. That subtle reference was enough to send fans into speculation mode. Jericho hasn't been seen in AEW since April, and with his contract reportedly expiring in December 2025, whispers about a possible WWE return have started to gain traction. Adding to the buzz, Jericho recently posted a video on TikTok revisiting his blockbuster return to WWE Raw in 2012. While Jericho occasionally shares old career highlights, the timing of this particular post raised eyebrows. With uncertainty surrounding his AEW status, many saw the video as more than nostalgia, perhaps a subtle hint of things to come. And the clues didn't stop there. The former AEW World Champion has long hosted the Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, a cruise that blends music, comedy, and pro wrestling. The show offers non-stop entertainment for the duration of the voyage, and weekly bouts are no longer part of the show in recent times, but AEW stars have always been among the top attractions. However, Jericho recently announced this year's lineup, and noticeably, no AEW stars were included. Instead, names like Paige, or Saraya, The Great Muta, and Jeff Hardy headlined the event. The absence of any current AEW talent has only deepened speculation that Jericho may be distancing himself from AEW ahead of a possible WWE return. While Jericho's situation has stirred plenty of discussion, another name frequently mentioned as a potential final opponent for Cena is Adam Copeland, or Edge. Throughout his final farewell tour, Cena has faced many of his greatest rivals one last time, including Randy Orton, CM Punk, and AJ Styles. However, one major name remains missing: Edge, perhaps Cena's greatest rival from the Ruthless Aggression era. Both men have paid quiet tributes to each other during the recent matches, but a reunion inside a WWE ring appears unlikely for now. Copeland is currently under contract with AEW until October 2026, ruling out any short-term return to WWE. With time running out, the possibilities remain open. Should WWE bring back Chris Jericho for one last showdown steeped in history? Could they elevate a current generation star like Braun Breaker to cement his rise? Or is Gunther, with his dominant run, the perfect opponent to close Cena's legendary career on a high-stakes note? Who do you believe deserves to be John Cena's final opponent? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. WWE Hall of Famer Booker T has spoken openly about BJ Ray's release from WWE and the LFG reality series, offering a candid take on why things ultimately didn't work out. According to Booker, what fans saw on screen wasn't an act, it was exactly who BJ was backstage, and that was part of the problem. BJ Ray appeared on both seasons of WWE LFG, where much of the tension centered around his heated confrontations with Coach Bubba Ray Dudley. His confidence and outspoken nature became recurring themes throughout the series, and it now appears that the same attitude carried over behind the scenes. On the latest episode of his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T, who also served as a coach on LFG, spoke directly about BJ Ray's potential and the challenges that held him back. I always thought that kid had something, but in this business, you gotta be able to apply yourself. It's not gonna be like football, basketball, or any other structured sport. It's not gonna be like that. Booker acknowledged that Ray had the charisma and presence to stand out, but emphasized that talent alone isn't enough to make it in WWE. A guy like BJ Ray, he had the looks, he had the swag, the charisma, but everything else, he definitely was lacking in. He then offered what might be his most telling observation about Ray's downfall. The same way BJ Ray was on television, he was that way off television. You can't be that way. Since his release, BJ Ray has stayed active on social media, tagging AEW President Tony Khan in posts and writing, "Your boy is ready, call me," while also referring to himself as the ratings machine. Whether this is a strategic attempt to grab attention or simply more of the brash attitude Booker described remains open to interpretation. While his WWE departure brought an end to his LFG journey, BJ Ray clearly isn't finished with professional wrestling or with keeping his name in the spotlight. Do you think BJ Ray deserves another shot, perhaps in AEW, or is his attitude too big a risk for any locker room? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Andrade El Idolo made a surprising comeback to AEW earlier this month, aligning himself with the Don Callis family and attacking Kenny Omega in a shocking post-match moment. And while his sudden disappearance left fans confused, we now thankfully have some clarity about his situation and his association with AEW. According to a report from Fightful Select, several people within AEW have spoken to Andrade in the past week and confirmed that he remains in good spirits and is still under contract with the company. However, none could provide any explanation for why he's been pulled from scheduled appearances or why he hasn't appeared on television since his return. We spoke to sources that spoke to Andrade in the last week, who said he seemed in good spirits, but didn't indicate why he'd been pulled from recent shows and hadn't been on AEW TV since reappearing. The little bit of response we got was that Andrade is in fact signed, but that the absence was something that at least one person didn't see as AEW or Andrade's specific fault. Andrade's vanishing act comes after a string of missed appearances, including his absence from Don Callis' on-screen birthday celebration and his removal from a planned match against LA Park. Despite his brief and impactful return, he's once again off AEW programming with no public explanation from the company or from Andrade himself. For now, his status remains unclear, leaving fans and even AEW insiders puzzled about what exactly is happening behind the scenes. Whether this is a creative reset, a personal issue, or a storyline being quietly developed, Andrade's disappearance has become one of AEW's most unexplained situations. Do you think Andrade's absence is connected to behind-the-scenes circumstances, or could AEW be setting up a long-term storyline? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Following this week's televised Monday Night Raw taping in Australia, WWE treated fans in Melbourne to a special non-televised live event, highlighted by an Intercontinental Championship match between title holder Dominik Mysterio of the Judgment Day and CM Punk. The bout, however, came to an abrupt end when Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, Mysterio's Judgment Day stablemates, interfered to protect his championship and cause a disqualification. Before the post-match chaos could escalate, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky made their way to the ring in support of Punk. The crowd inside Rod Laver Arena erupted as the two quickly neutralized Rodriguez and Perez, leaving Dirty Dom completely outnumbered. Trying to smooth things over, Dominik attempted to reconcile with his mommy Rhea Ripley, extending an olive branch and pleading for her forgiveness. But that plan backfired spectacularly. Ripley shoved Mysterio backward, causing him to trip over Io Sky, drawing laughter from the crowd. The moment gave CM Punk the opening he needed. Punk hit his signature GTS on Mysterio, dropping the Intercontinental Champion in the center of the ring, but the humiliation wasn't over just yet. Punk lifted Mysterio once again and executed Ripley's own finishing move, the Riptide, before pinning him with her signature pretzel pin. To complete the mockery, Punk motioned for Rhea to make the count, and she happily obliged, slapping the mat for a playful 1, 2, 3 as the Melbourne crowd cheered wildly. Ripley, Sky, and Punk celebrated together to close the show, leaving fans with a fun, lighthearted moment, and leaving Dominik Mysterio red-faced after his failed attempt to win back his mommy. Samoa Joe isn't planning a farewell tour, and he doesn't want your standing ovation either. In his interview with Shaq Wrestling, Samoa Joe didn't shy away from the question of retirement. When asked if his AEW run would be his last, he acknowledged that it's most likely the final stretch of his wrestling career. I'd say most likely, and honestly, I think it's for a lot of reasons, and I think most of them are responsible. You never want to overstay your welcome in the industry. I've been fortunate that I've been able to be involved with it for over 25 years now, and the other thing too is, I think many of us want to preserve what we can of our health for our latter years. So it is something that is probably the most likely scenario, but hey, it's an unusual world, and unusual opportunities come up, so we'll see. Joe went on to explain that when the time comes, he doesn't plan to make a public announcement or organize any type of farewell. Instead, he intends to quietly step away without the spotlight or ceremony that often surrounds a wrestler's final days. No, not at all. It might be a surprise. It might just be one day I'm gone and leave it at that. I'm not as ceremonial as everybody else. I like disappearing into the sunset. When asked why he feels so strongly about leaving on his own terms, Joe shared insight into his values, emphasizing his respect for the industry's future and the importance of not holding it back. It's in a lot of ways, I feel it's important, maybe to me more than anybody else. I wouldn't want to hold up a young burgeoning industry on behalf of myself. Not that anybody else isn't deserving of that honor, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, I've always been somebody that's been firmly planted with my head toward the future and never tried to dwell too much in the past. And it's kind of been my theory with the industry too. I would hope we always look towards the future and not, obviously, appreciate the past, but not miss it too much. With over 25 years in the business, Samoa Joe's comments make it clear that this AEW run isn't just another chapter, it's likely the final one. And when he eventually walks away, it'll be on his own terms, with quiet dignity rather than a curtain call. Would you be okay if Samoa Joe retired without one last match or farewell moment? Share your thoughts in the comments below. While there's still uncertainty about who John Cena's final opponent will be, one thing is absolutely clear: the excitement surrounding his farewell event is off the charts. WWE's Saturday night's main event, set for December 13th at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., has already become one of the hottest tickets in wrestling history. According to WrestleTix, more than 57,623 fans flooded the pre-sale queue in just minutes after it opened on October 15th, all vying for seats in a venue that holds 20,356 people. The staggering demand shows just how much anticipation there is for what's being billed as John Cena's final WWE match. WWE and On Location have also introduced a series of premium ticket packages for the farewell event, headlined by the extravagant WWE Champion package. That top-tier option includes floor seating, a meet-and-greet photo with Cena, exclusive merchandise, and ringside photo access, all priced at a jaw-dropping $11,500 per ticket. Other premium packages range from $6,500 and $9,500, while general admission tickets fall between $250 and $3,000. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.